Hey folks, welcome to the Wealth Transfer with TC. Today I'm going to be discussing more about the fallout concerning FTX. Also with that, I'll be discussing what's going on with the exchanges and them trying to be more transparent over the next 30 days. And I think that's going to be very important that people need to watch. I'm also going to be discussing about what happened with Ledger during this bloodbath in cryptocurrency and how it relates to the wealth transfer and how we should prepare because, we have issues with exchanges and then we also have issues with Ledger too as well. But I'll get into that a little bit later. But before I get started, folks, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing information, giving you my thoughts and my opinions on that information. And if you guys like these videos that I make, the support links are down below in the description and also the About section of YouTube. Now, the first thing I want to get into is the FTX. When I first realized, hey, this exchange could go down, I put out an alert on the Discord, the Patreon, and the Telegram group. Then I also made a post on YouTube about it. Then I made a video and posted that too as well. And a lot of people were able to get their cryptocurrency off. A lot of people were having problems. A lot of people were saying that their funds were frozen. And then again, FTX allowed people, at least FTX US, they allowed people to withdraw their cryptocurrency and then they cut it back off again. And looking at this current article right now, FTX US freezes crypto withdrawals, sending millions in assets into bankruptcy limbo. Right? The exchange filed for bankruptcy protection earlier Friday. And so when I put those alerts out, if you guys did not get your cryptocurrency off of there, you guys weren't paying attention and you guys had cryptocurrency on there, it's probably going to be locked up for some time. Now, myself, I didn't have that much on there to begin with. FTX was supposed to be one of those solvent exchanges where nobody had anything to worry about because they were strong. It was backed by allegedly a good team, backed by billions of dollars. And the whole time, the CEO was using user funds to put into all different types of investments. And so lo and behold, FTX was supposed to be one of those exchanges that was supposed to be solvent, but now we find out that it was insolvent. And people have asked me, is this something that we could have seen before? And, there were a few people out there that were saying some really bad things about FTX months ago. The CEO and the media, and they had a lot of celebrities and powerhouses that were invested into FTX. So it seemed like it would have been strong. But, the more you realize that the more celebrities or celebrity financial figures that are involved in certain investments, the more you have to be careful. And so this does beg the question as far as, should people be using swap services? I don't even know as far as swap services, what's going to happen and how the SEC is going to look at everything. People don't really understand that the way that our government looks at cryptocurrency, that most of the assets are securities and not commodities. Okay, and so the SEC is just going to be out there enforcing what they believe is current law. And I think there's going to be a lot of things coming down the road in the future about some of these crypto projects. And I believe a lot of them are going to end up going away. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the price. You have Bitcoin 16,847. It did hit that 15,000, like 500, 400 range, which was pretty incredible seeing that at the time. And that's one of the things is at the bottom. And I do want to point out, and I'll probably talk about it more in another video, but Sir Lewis did mention back in January in a video. Now, is it truly the bottom yet? We don't know. We don't know how much more of the fallout. I think initially the whole markets received a big blow, the biggest blow that it's going to have, unless there's something even worse that's getting ready to come. But that remains to be seen. We saw some of the stable coins depeg. And you know what, folks? When it comes to stable coins and them depegging, that's what some of these governments want. They want to get rid of crypto, okay, because they want their CBDCs, right? They don't want people investing in all these different cryptocurrencies. And by the way they look at it, maybe 100 should actually only be active and operating. Everything that you're seeing out with FTX, a lot of people are saying, hey, was this a setup? You know, it just seemed too good to be true when you look at everything right now and what the CEO, or the former CEO now, Sam, and what he was doing. Just really, when you think about it, it's absolutely crazy. It was almost like, you know, a big scam was pulled off and they pulled in everybody they could. Okay, so looking at some of the other prices, XRP sitting at 36 cents, Dogecoin at 9 cents, ADA 34 cents. Solana, $15. There was a lot of talk about a lot of selling off of Solana. That did not happen. And, you know, Solana has a lot of followers. They have a strong community. So unless something really bad majorly comes out, I don't really see Solana dropping that much more. Then you got Shiba Inu, which did drop another 0. All right. And you can see that it's down 24% for the week. Tron, I'm going to do a separate video on Tron. That is a Prophetic coin. And they have some really good things about this project. Stellar, still sitting at 9 cents. Kronos, just hit that below 8 cent mark. Algorand, down to 27 cents. Near Protocol, $2.05, is down 39% for the week. They are also involved with FTX. Right, so I'm actually surprised when that news came out, they're still at $2. Terra Luna Classic down 26% for the week. We know that's a Prophetic coin. We're just waiting for our time. HBAR, 4.5 cents. That's another Prophetic coin. ApeCoin, $2.96. Now, folks, I've talked about this, and you know, I was kind of weary about putting a short position out on it. And when I was talking about it, it was like around $5 as far as taking out a short position. And now, you know, it's down to $2.96. And I'm not sure, you know, what's going to happen with the ApeCoin, because they do have this SEC investigation that is going on. Right? And now the government feels even more emboldened to go after these cryptocurrencies. So, and you see these ape, you know, NFTs, and they're still going for enormous amounts of money. It's absolutely insane that people, despite what's going on in the markets right now, people are still spending 100 or 200 Ethereum on these ape pictures. It doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. We have Sandbox down to 60 cents, and I've discussed, you know, this before, and you know, whether or not, since Sandbox was already in the news, considering their user base, and it would become worthless. Well, since then, it's dropped more than half of their value, right? And so are we expecting more news to come out? Well, I'm going to share that in a separate video about the owners, the people who own Sandbox, and their exposure to FTX. Theta Network down to 89 cents here pretty soon. Once these markets start to recover, some of these cryptos you may want to think about getting into. Decentraland Mana, that's another one that is dropping dramatically as part of the whole metaverse thing. Nobody's really interested in the metaverse right now. Nobody really cares about the metaverse. I see these Facebook Meta advertisements all the time. I don't care about putting on any goggles. I don't care trying to, you know, portray myself as some character in a made-up universe. You know, it doesn't make any sense at all whatsoever. But, you know, they are losing too as well. Hobai token. If you guys are on the Hobai exchange, I would be very careful. And I actually even put that in my Bitcoin buy limit order document. I have here Hobai Global reported low BTC orders, where people have reported they can put low buy limit orders on there. I said, beware, it's a Chinese-based exchange. If you're going to use it, only have low BTC orders if phishing. I wouldn't even probably put no more than 10 or 20 bucks on that exchange for that. But if you're using that exchange to buy, then I would most definitely think about getting off of that platform altogether. Axie Infinity down to $6.55. Once again, I'm going to share some news about Axie Infinity. When I said I was going to short Axie Infinity, that was when it was around $11.50. And so I still have that play going right now. And I may decide to even do even more at this point. But it just depends on how the markets are. And you have to be very careful. Once the markets have almost bottomed out, you have to be very careful about shorting. And some of these metaverse platforms, I don't think they've hit their bottoms. I don't think Axie Infinity has hit their bottoms. Plus, we know that The SEC is involved with Axie Infinity at this moment. XDC is down to 2.5 cents. That's part of the whole X network, XRP, XLM. It's a similar token. And then FTX token. For some reason, I have no idea why this is not like below 50 cents right now. Right? I don't know why people are still holding on to this token. Are they still holding on to it? They hope that somebody's going to come in and buy it. I would be dumping it right now. So I don't know if you guys are still holding on to FTX token for whatever reason, I would dump it immediately. Ravencoin down to 2 cents. Theta Fuel, 4.5 cents. IOTEX, 2.5 cents. Terra Classic, USD, 0.023 cents. So there's still a lot of coins that are on sale right now. Gala, Anchor. There's just so many right now. It's just absolutely insane. For those of you who take your stop losses pretty seriously, all the way even deep into the cryptocurrency markets, you guys have done very well, because even though you may have lost some, but you're able to get back even more, right? Some of these cryptocurrencies are down 25, 50, 75%. And if you did have your stop losses in, guess what? You would have been able to turn around and buy many of these cryptocurrencies back, and you would have had a whole lot more crypto. All right, so really quick, I want to go into what I came across, and this is from investing.com on Twitter. It's why I love using Twitter. It's short, to the point. I can take the information, put it into Google search, and I can expand my research. So that's why I encourage people to, start following, different individuals. Start following the coins that you have bought. Follow those companies on Twitter, right? And follow some of these investing companies like investing.com and Unusual Whales, so many others that you can follow so you can get information that you need. So it says here, investing.com, breaking US dollar index tumbles to the lowest level since August the 18th. So when I saw that, I was like, okay, I know what that means already. So I just wanted to make sure that it's still at that lowest point. So here it is, the US dollar index, and it is falling. Now, what is one of the good things about this happening right now? Bitcoin has been closely correlated to U.S. markets, often rising when stock indexes do. Bitcoin also tends to rise when the dollar weakens. So now the dollar is devaluing. It's going down, right? So this is the opportunity for the cryptocurrency markets to go back up, right? So this could start something here very quickly. Hopefully, whatever's going on with FTX will recover from it, and the crypto markets will begin to hopefully take off here pretty soon. Okay, so this is from CZ Binance, right? And it says here, FTX aside, avoid businesses, exchanges, and projects that are not profitable, survive by selling their own tokens, give high incentives for locking your tokens, have a large total supply but only a small circulation of supply, and involves loans. So this is coming from a guy that we've discussed him before in some of the tweets, and I think that, personally, I don't know what his end game is, but if you guys remember this tweet back in April, he knew about what was going to happen with Luna and some of these other crypto tokens. When the Titanic sinks, little floats near it get dragged down too. But the floats will eventually come up if they are untethered. And I believe that, there's this massive attack on stable coins. And, during this whole debacle, I've seen all these posts about USDT is getting ready to crash and all this stuff. But when in actuality, USDC is actually involved with the whole FTX deal. They have lost funds with them, but USDT has not, as far as from what I can see so far. So there is this war that is going on. You have this war between these crypto CEOs and these crypto platforms, and then you also have a war between the crypto industry and the banking industry, and them launching their central bank digital coins. But he also turned around and said, Binance CEO warns FTX fall will have cascading effects. He said that he warned that the fall of FTX will have cascading effects. A crisis could be on the horizon, according to the CEO, with falling crypto platform as the first domino. So basically he's warning that more exchanges could fall in the future. So we have this article here. Crypto exchanges scramble to compile proof of reserves as FTX contagion grips markets. 9 prominent exchanges say they will publish proof of their reserve holdings in the next month. Right? And you would think that they would have that information already available. So there is going to be some cause to concern about some of these platforms, right? And when we look at CoinMarketCap, there's 524 exchanges, right? That's absolutely insane. So looking at the top cryptocurrency spot exchanges, so we got Binance as number 1, right? And we know that, and they actually outpace all the other exchanges. So this is an exchange that honestly, that to a certain degree, I am concerned about. In a way, I'm glad he did expose what was going on with FTX, but in the way that he did it, it was almost like he was done on purpose. You know, it possibly could have been done in a different way, which could have allowed people more time to get their cryptocurrency out. So you got Coinbase is number 2, Kraken number 3, Binance.us number 4, KuCoin number 5, Hobai Global number 6, Bitfinex, Bitstamp, right? Let's see, Gemini is number 13, Gate.io is 14, Crypto.com 17, MEXC 18, LBank 20, Bitmark 23, Phoenix 25, Bittrex 27, right? So and there's a whole lot more that I have never even heard of before, right? And so a lot of these are foreign exchanges. Looking at the Bitcoin phishing buy limit orders, right? I just named off some of these platforms on that list, right? And we know that some of these have been named prophetically speaking, right? Bittrex, KuCoin, Coinbase. We also have LBank, Kraken, Gemini, Gate.io, Phoenix, Hobai Global, MEXC. So going over those, I'm going to make sure that, to the best of my ability, be able to make sure that these are solvent exchanges. So I'm not too concerned about Bittrex or KuCoin or Coinbase or Kraken. Especially most of these platforms don't even have their own coin. Some of them do. KuCoin has their own coin. So I'll be cross-checking some of these, and just to make sure that, hey, if there's any warnings about these, I'll let everybody know. But, for the most part, folks, as I have said before, some of these exchanges, I only have Bitcoin buy limit orders on them, right? And some of these exchanges, like, that's the only way that you can buy some of these tokens. Like when I first signed up for LBank, the only reason why I signed up for LBank was because of Empire token, only to find out later that you can, place low buy limit BTC orders on. They're an upcoming exchange. You can't, add your bank account or anything to them. I have to send in Dogecoin because they don't have XLM, at least right now, as far as I know. And so that was the same for FTX. FTX was on the list, and I removed it from the list because obviously of what happened. But I only had Bitcoin buy limit orders and like 5 million Shiba Inu. So I got it all off the exchange. So in this whole thing with transparency, we see here Crypto.com CEO and founder just released a proof of reserves. So these are their cryptocurrency reserves. BTC, Shiba, Ethereum, USDC, USDT, and other. Now, from what I understand, their reserves are 1 for 1, right? And that's because whatever their clients have, they have it backed apparently in cash or something, right? So there's a lot of misconception. There's a lot of FUD concerning all of this right now. And they're not really done putting out, all their information, right? And this person said what's scary was they hold more SHIB than Ether. No, all that means is that their holders, their clients hold more SHIB than all these other currencies. And then here we go with the CEO of Crypto.com. While proof of reserves audit preparation is underway, we are sharing our cold wallet addresses for some of our top assets on our platform. Right, so he shares all these different addresses, And which kind of concerns me too, because it's kind of weird. That's like putting your bank account information out there, letting everybody know, hey, this is my bank account information. I don't know why they have to do that. This whole thing with hackers and stuff like that, I think people should try to keep their wallets private as possible. This is OKX, and they put out something similar as far as their reserves and what they have. And I think what it is that if an exchange has reserves and it's using their own token as a major part of their reserves, then that's where you need to be careful as far as that particular exchange. So one of the things that I want to bring up really quick is the whole thing with ledgers, right? Because a lot of people who are saying, hey, you should have had your coins on Ledger and so forth. And one of the things that, first of all, with a lot of the prophetic pricing points that we have and having your buy limit orders in or sell limit orders in is that they have to be on an exchange. At least that's the way it's set up right now. So during this time period, the Ledger hardware wallets hit by the FTX earthquake. So people were having problems moving their cryptocurrency over to their Ledger. And I brought this up before and just kind of wondering, how does this all fit in with the wealth transfer? This article right here, CTO of Ledger Hardware Wallet claims the platform faces scalability issues amid the FTX bloodbath. So whether you're trying to move cryptocurrency to a ledger or off of a ledger, say for instance you had FTX tokens on your hard ledger, right? And then you're trying to move them to sell them, and then you're experiencing issues, right? It could hurt you and it could benefit you. So I'm sitting here thinking about this, and everybody needs to kind of think about this and pray about this. But how does having ledgers fit in overall with the wealth transfer, dealing with certain tokens? Now, when it comes to Shiba and Luna Classic and maybe a few other cryptocurrencies, we have pricing points. And so with those pricing points, okay, we're setting a certain amount of our cryptocurrency in sell limit orders. But a lot of the other prophetic coins, let's just take for an example, HBAR, right? There's really, it's one that we were told to purchase prophetically speaking, but there hasn't been any pricing point. So should you keep HBAR on a ledger as opposed to on the exchange, right? Because I think it falls into a different category. When it comes to Shiba Inu and Luna Classic, they fall into a different category because I believe that Shiba Inu and Luna Classic are going to be used more to bless God's people on a wider scale. But HBAR doesn't have any really prophetic pricing points like Shiba Inu or Luna Classic. And there's a lot of other prophetic coins that are like that in the same way. But I do think that when I look at all the prophecies concerning the Bitcoin crash, right? And we got one where when it reaches, according to what Christopher Harris was saying, is that whether it's already gone up above this or came back down and going back up, when Bitcoin reaches 111,000, that's when the fall is going to begin. So for me, I think that when Bitcoin is reaching that 105,000, 108,000, that's when I'm going to be selling everything off and then setting up buy limit orders for all those cryptocurrencies when everything breaks back down below a penny, right? So basically, mostly everything that I'm going to have is cash, because we should be experiencing a flash crash before then, right? So some people will have crypto that they plan on never selling, and those are going to be on ledgers, right? So I think that we're going to have, if we've been given the prophetic timeline as far as when some of these cryptocurrencies are going to fall, right? We're going to have enough time to say, okay, it's time to sell. It's time to, move whatever cryptos put onto a hard ledger. I mean, by that point, think about it, folks. If Shiba, let's just say if Shiba Inu reaches $13, right? And Bitcoin is at 105,000, right? Why would you move your Shiba Inu that you currently have to a hard ledger? Wouldn't you just sell it off, right? And you're going to take the cash. So those are just some things that I think about when dealing with all this, and how does the ledgers and central exchanges and how it's all going to play a role in the wealth transfer with these different flash crashes, right? We should be expecting at least two, right? We're expecting one to happen at any moment, or at least after Bitcoin goes on a short bull run, right? So you're not going to be putting all your Shiba Inu on a hard ledger. You're going to be selling it off because that's the whole purpose of doing it. I mean, just think about it, folks. If you were to take all of your Shiba Inu right now off the exchanges and put it onto a hard wallet, and then when things begin to kick off and you were up to the first wave and you're trying to get all your funds off the ledger onto, say, Kraken so you could sell it, well, what if there's so many issues and you can't do it, right? So there's a lot of things to think about and consider through all this. And these are just some of the things that I think about. And it's nothing really set in stone right now as far as how I'm going to, do this. But we remember the prophetic dream by Drew Wyatt in the hard ledgers, right? And how the AI system would be trying to flag wallets, hardware wallets. So you got to be careful about that too as well. So this subject needs to be touched on again. I do encourage people to, get yourself a couple wallets and prepare yourself at some point in learning about it. So then that way that when things do happen, you're going to be in a whole lot better position. And, and I think the main thing is which platforms are going to survive all of this. I thought FTX was going to be a solvent exchange. Obviously not. And some people who live in other countries who may not have access to some of these large exchanges, and you're on these smaller exchanges that could shut down on you, I think a lot of those people should be more concerned about having a hard ledger like Nano X wallet. Also, too, I guess apparently there is a FTX hack that's, where they've lost hundreds of millions of dollars or something like that. I don't know all the details, but I'm pretty sure those details will come out here pretty soon. Again, I'm surprised the FTX token is still at $2.10. They even have a message here. FTX exchange has been hacked. Please avoid interactions with the website and uninstall all related apps. Okay, this should be at 0 right now. Right? I have a short position that I took out on it when it was like at, $16 or something like that. And so, yeah, this should be at 0 basically right now with everything that's going on. And maybe eventually it will be. So, folks, that is all that I have for today. I thank you guys for listening. God bless. TC out.